May 13, 1945, Burma. Rifleman. Lachhiman Gurung's position looked like a slaughterhouse. 31 Japanese soldiers lay dead. The ground had turned to mud, saturated with blood. And Gurung was still firing, one-handed. His left arm hung useless, shredded from fingers to shoulder. 4'11", 110 pounds. A farm boy who'd joined the Gurkhas because his village was too poor to feed him. The Japanese had attacked with 200 men. Gurung had been alone, one soldier with a rifle, 4 hours, left arm destroyed, still fighting. He chambered another round, fired. Another Japanese soldier dropped. This is the story of the smallest soldier who became the fiercest warrior. The night a farm boy with one arm proved that size doesn't measure courage. When you're trained as a Gurkha, you don't retreat, you fight. May 1945. The Burma campaign was ending. British forces closing in on Rangoon after 3 years of jungle warfare. The Japanese followed Bushido code, death before dishonor. The 8th Gurkha Rifles had been fighting for weeks. Battles happened at ranges measured in feet. The Gurkhas were the most feared close combat troops in the British Army. Nepalese mountain warriors carrying kukri knives, 18-inch curved blades. The Japanese were terrified. Captured documents warned, if you hear Gurkhas, expect no quarter. May 12th. Rifleman Gurung was assigned to a forward position with 2 others. Hold the left flank. Watch for infiltration. Gurung checked his rifle. Bolt action. 10-round magazine. He'd grown up hunting in Nepal's mountains. Shooting was survival. The moon rose, full and bright, perfect for a Japanese night assault. Around midnight, Gurung heard movement. The Japanese were coming, 200 soldiers, directly toward his position. The first grenade landed. Gurung had 3 seconds. He could run, but that would expose his unit's flank. Gurung grabbed the grenade, threw it back. That throw changed everything. Lachhiman Gurung was born in 1917 in a village too small for maps. 4'11", 110 pounds. One bad harvest meant starvation. At 17, he walked to the British recruiting station, volunteered for the Gurkhas. The British had recruited Nepalese soldiers since 1815. After fighting Gurkhas and nearly losing, they recruited them instead, brutally selective. 1 in 20 accepted. Gurung passed every test. His childhood had been training, hauling water uphill, carrying 100-pound rice loads. Gurkha training produced close-quarters specialists. The philosophy, better to die than be a coward. Cultural identity forged in the harshest terrain on earth. World War II. The 8th Gurkha Rifles shipped to Burma in 1942. By 1945, Gurung was a veteran. When you told him to hold a position, he held it. May 12, 1945. Hold the left flank with 2 soldiers. Intelligence suggested Japanese were withdrawing. Low priority position. The stupid idea was that 3 soldiers could stop a determined assault. British officers didn't understand Gurkha culture. Fall back if overwhelmed wasn't an option. When the grenades landed, Gurung's companions died in seconds. Gurung was alone, against 200 Japanese troops. The smart decision was retreat. Gurung made the stupid decision. He stayed. The weapon that saved Gurung wasn't issued by the British Army. It was forged in childhood. 11 years old, hunting mountain goats. His father's lesson, 1 shot, 1 kill. We can't afford to miss. By 15, Gurung could shoot running goats at 200 yards. When he joined the Gurkhas, instructors noticed immediately. This farm boy could outshoot trained soldiers. The Lee Enfield, 10-round magazine, bolt action. Trained soldiers fired 20 to 30 shots per minute. Gurung could fire 35, but marksmanship was only half. The hidden weapon was the kukri knife, 18 inches of curved steel, severed bone, throat strikes, sever carotid and windpipe, limb severance, target joints. Japanese documents warned, if you encounter Gurkhas at night, retreat immediately. May 12th, before the attack. Gurung performed his ritual. Clean rifle, count ammunition, sharpen kukri. His companions were nervous. Gurung was calm. If Japanese came, he'd fight. When the grenade landed, training took over. Grab grenade, throw it back. His timing was off by half a second. The grenade exploded in his hand. The blast vaporized his left hand, shredded his forearm. Medical shock should have knocked him unconscious. Gurung didn't fall. He grabbed his rifle, chambered a round, started shooting. The hidden preparation wasn't just marksmanship, it was something deeper. When everything goes wrong, when you're wounded, alone. Gurung had always known his answer. You fight. The trick wasn't sophisticated technology. The trick was refusing to acknowledge that losing an arm meant losing the fight. Rifleman Lachhiman Gurung worked his bolt-action rifle with one hand and killed Japanese soldiers faster than they could advance. The Lee Enfield was designed for two hands. Gurung braced the rifle against his hip, used his right hand for everything. Pull bolt, chamber round, fire, repeat, hitting targets at 50 yards, in darkness, one-handed, bleeding out. The Japanese commander couldn't believe it. 200 troops against one wounded Gurkha. Rifle fire intensified, accurate, sustained. Another grenade barrage. Gurung rolled left, let grenades explode in empty trench, came up firing. 3 Japanese dropped dead. Frontal assault, bayonets fixed. Gurung dropped 8 before they closed to 30 yards. At 20 yards, his rifle clicked empty. They didn't know about the kukri. Gurung drew his 18-inch blade. The first soldier reached the trench. Gurung sidestepped. The kukri came up, severed throat. The next soldiers hesitated. Fatal hesitation. Gurung attacked, one-armed, bleeding. 7 Japanese killed by kukri wounds. The Japanese fell back. Gurung retrieved his rifle, reloaded, used his teeth to pull the bolt. Japanese tried flanking. Gurung shot them anyway. 75 yards, one-handed. They dropped. 1 hour became 2. 2 became 3. Gurung kept killing them. He'd lost over 40% of his blood, stayed conscious through willpower. 4 hours. The Japanese commander withdrew. 53 casualties. The math made no sense. The trick wasn't a secret weapon. It was refusing to acknowledge that losing was possible. When the sun rose, British officers surveyed Gurung's position and stopped speaking. Blood-soaked earth. 31 Japanese soldiers dead. Some shot. Clean rifle wounds. Others cut. Throat wounds, severed arteries, 7 Japanese dead inside the trench itself, hand-to-hand range, slaughtered, kukri wounds. British medical officers estimated 31 confirmed dead, 22 wounded, 1 Gurkha, 4 hours, 53 casualties. The math was impossible. They found Gurung conscious, holding his rifle, left arm destroyed, 43% blood volume lost. His first words, "Did they break through?" No. The line held. "How many did I kill?" 31 confirmed. "I should have killed more. I ran low on ammunition." Left arm couldn't be saved. Amputated at shoulder. Gurung refused discharge. He could still shoot. He'd proven it. The British Empire awarded the Victoria Cross, highest military honor. The citation: "For most conspicuous bravery. Despite catastrophic wounds, continued to fight one-handed for 4 hours." But the real result wasn't awards. It was Japanese morale. Captured documents warned, "Avoid Gurkhas at night. Expect heavy casualties." Some Japanese units refused orders to assault Gurkha positions. The slaughter wasn't just 31 bodies, it was psychological impact. If Gurung could hold 4 hours with one arm, what excuse did anyone else have? Lachhiman Gurung lived to 92, spent his life with one arm, never complained. When journalists asked about the night he killed 31 Japanese soldiers, his response, "I did my duty." But his legacy became something far larger. The British Army still recruits Gurkhas. Competition is intense, 1 in 200 accepted. Every recruit learns Gurung's story, the standard against which all courage is measured. Instructors tell recruits, "When you think a task is impossible, remember Rifleman Gurung. 1 arm, 4 hours, 200 enemies. He didn't quit. Neither will you." The story teaches a deeper principle. Human limitations are psychological, not physical. Gurkha regiments deployed worldwide. 2009. Corporal Diprasad Poon defended an Afghan checkpoint against 30 Taliban fighters, alone. 15 minutes. His words afterward, "I thought of Rifleman Gurung. If he could hold with 1 arm, I could hold with 2. That's the legacy. A standard of courage inspiring generations. Gurung's Victoria Cross is displayed at the Gurkha Museum in Winchester, England. But the real legacy isn't in museums. It's in Nepal's mountains, in villages where young men grow up hearing about Gurung. In his village, the story is told to children. Proof that size doesn't measure courage. When Gurung died December 12, 2010, the British Army gave full military honors. The eulogy: Rifleman Gurung proved courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear control your actions. Rifleman Lachhiman Gurung, VC. Better to die than be a coward. Your limitations are mostly psychological. Lachhiman Gurung was 4'11", a farm boy from a village too small for maps. And on one night in Burma, he became immortal. Rifleman Lachhiman Gurung, VC May 13, 1945. 31 enemy killed. Position held, legend created. Courage isn't measured in inches or pounds. It's measured in what you do when everyone expects you to run. Gurung didn't run. He fought. And that made all the difference.